My husband always left clues when he cheated. Once I found lipstick under his car seat. Another time a pink thong under our bed. This time a ripped black stocking under his pillow. They all came from the same nurse at his hospital. I never said anything, but my silence seemed to piss her off. So she started sending me explicit photos of them together. You're getting old. Dr. Miller's bored with you. You should have seen how wild he was when he had me on your bed. I saved every single one. Then I made a 35-page presentation and posted it online. She likes sharing, right? Let's give her something to really share. Ryan stood in the bedroom doorway, holding up the black stocking like it was trash. Lily, we need to talk. I've been up all night making that presentation. I could barely keep my eyes open. I closed my laptop. There's nothing to talk about. You deal with it. No. He ignored my cold stare and kept going. Last week you were away on business. I had this major surgery. I gave my apartment key to someone from my department, so they could grab me clean clothes. I didn't know it'd be Chloe. And I definitely didn't expect her to pull this disgusting stunt. Lily, you have to believe me. You done? He just stared at me. I tried to walk past him to the bathroom. Lily, he grabbed my wrist. You really don't care. I used to care. A year ago when I first found lipstick in his car. Smashed all the dishes from our honeymoon. 6 months ago, when I saw their Instagram post at the movies, I cut up every white shirt he owned. 3 months ago, when I saw her flirty texts on his phone, I threw our living room TV against the wall. We fought constantly. But we never broke up because we've known each other our whole lives. At 3, we fought over the same toy block in preschool. At 10, he took the blame when I got in trouble with the teacher. At 17, the night before our finals, he climbed onto my balcony just to tell me one thing, Lily. Wherever you go, I'll go to 27 years of memories wrapped around me like chains. Brian, I'm just really tired. I tried to pull away, but he wouldn't let go. What's that supposed to mean? He stared at me looking for any reaction. Let go. No. You need to explain yourself right now. I yanked my arm back hard. Something crashed to the floor. The sound echoed through the silent apartment. We both froze. Broken pieces of porcelain glittered under the light. It was the ceramic vase we'd made together. We'd moved apartments, had countless fights over the years. I destroyed necklaces he gave me. Furniture we picked out together. But I never touched that vase. It always sat there holding dried flowers. Now it was shattered. Ryan's grip loosened in shock. But I lost my balance and fell straight onto the broken pieces. Blood immediately soaked into the white porcelain, turning everything red. All those years. All that time, just bleeding out. Ryan went pale. Lily. His hands were shaking. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. More blood pooled on the floor. Weirdly, I didn't feel pain. Just my eyes stinging. He scooped me up, did a quick cleanup and drove me to the hospital. His hands shook on the steering wheel the whole way. He drove fast, heading straight to the ER. And guess who was on duty? Chloe. He frowned. Get someone else, she shrugged. Sorry, I'm all you've got right now. Ryan was about to argue, but I cut him off, pointing at her. You do it. I always thought Chloe was stupid and mean, but I didn't expect her to be so bold. Even with Ryan right there. When she deliberately jabbed my wound with the tweezers. For the third time, Ryan shoved her away. Can you even do your job? You can't even bandage a basic wound. How the hell did you get hired here? Get out. Chloe looked like she was about to cry. But Ryan didn't care. He immediately changed into scrubs and treated me himself. Ryan got me a private room. We need to keep you here for observation. He handed me water with pills in the cap. The wound could get infected, so be really careful. The next few days. He went on and on. I didn't respond. His voice got softer. I'll get you those macarons you love. Okay? When I still didn't answer, he stood there for a second, then left. When he came back, he had macarons and a box of cut fruit. Footsteps in the hallway. Few doctors and white coats stopped at the door. The lead one peeked in and grinned. Well, Dr. Miller. You got here before us. Ryan's ears turned red. Heard you used an OR. For a family member in the middle of the night. That's against the rules, isn't it? Another one winked at him. Even though he knew they were messing with him. He answered, seriously. Everyone was swamped yesterday. It was urgent. So I made a judgment call. But if the hospital wants to take action, I'll cooperate. They all laughed and left. He kept his head down, ears bright red. Not looking at me. He looked like that the first time he told me he loved me. The first time he held my hand when he said I do at our wedding. Those times were so good. I closed my eyes and curled up under the blanket. He said my name a few times. But I ignored him. He just stayed there. As I was drifting off, I heard the door open. A cheerful voice. Dr. Eller. I came to apologize to Lily yesterday. Really wasn't on purpose. I was just so nervous with you watching. My hands were shaking. I cracked my eyes open. Ryan was grabbing her arm. Trying to push her out. Who said you could come in? The door was open. She stepped closer. Almost pressing against his chest. And I really want to apologize. You yelled at me yesterday. I went home and cried all night. As she talked, she raised her hand. Her fingers brushing against his name tag under his white coat. He wore a thin gray shirt today. Chloe. Ryan's voice was low, warning her. She leaned even closer, her lips almost touching his ear. Dr. Miller, your heart's beating so fast. I sat up in bed. Why don't you two go outside? Or maybe I should leave so you can have the bed. Ryan shoved her away hard. Chloe stumbled back and hit the floor. Ryan, you. Her eyes filled with tears. Get out. Ryan's voice was ice cold. Chloe scrambled up, shot me a furious look and ran out. Covering her face. Ryan stood there with his back to me. His shoulders moved up and down a few times before he turned around. Lily, I'm sorry for interrupting your little moment with your side piece. I lay back down, turning away from him. He stood there forever. Then his phone buzzed. He didn't answer the first time. On the fourth call, he picked up. Hello? Crying came through the speaker loud and clear in the quiet room. I got in. An accident. This old guy on a motorcycle won't let me leave. Dr. Miller, I'm scared. Ryan said. Nothing. Can you please come? I'm right by the hospital's back entrance. The crying got louder. A man was yelling in the background. Ryan hung up and glanced at me. He walked to the bed and said softly. Lily, I'm going out for a minute. I'll be right back. She's my colleague. His phone rang again in his pocket. He hung up again. Then I heard the door close. 10 minutes later, I pulled out my IV. And checked myself out. My knee was still bleeding. But that pain didn't matter anymore. Near the park lake, I saw them. Ryan was holding Chloe up. Half her body leaning into him. Her right hand was on his shoulder. Her left on his waist. Her fingers traced along his belt. Stroking it over and over. Ryan's free hand tried to pull away. But Chloe was faster. She slipped her fingers into his palm and laced them together. He went stiff but didn't pull away. I stopped dead. Chloe seemed to sense something and turned. She whispered in Ryan's ear. He nodded, let go of her hand and walked toward the outpatient building. Chloe waited until he was gone. Then walked toward me. Oh. You're out already. Why didn't you ask Dr. Miller to take you home? I ignored her. She followed me. I glanced at the ankle she'd just been faking. She shrugged. You know what? He carried me the whole way here. His hand never let go. Don't you think a surgeon would know if I was really hurt? She tilted her head, smiling. But I get it, she sighed. Fake sympathy. After so many years. You two have no passion left. Just have it right. You done? I stopped walking. Oh. Are you mad? She covered her mouth, giggling. Every man cheats. You can't expect him to be faithful forever. But I do admire you being able to ignore it all, Chloe. I cut her off. You know what's really pathetic about you? Her smile froze. You have to use disgusting tricks to steal a man. Who doesn't even love you. She grabbed my wrist. What did you say? Exactly what it sounds like. I shook her off, let go. I yanked my hand back hard, making her stumble. She instinctively shoved me. I fell backward toward the lake. I grabbed her on the way down and we both crashed through the ice. It made a huge splash. Everyone looked, including Ryan, who just come back. He hadn't seen Chloe push me. So from his angle, it looked like I tried to push her. But she pulled me in. Ryan quickly pulled her out. Chloe was soaked, her uniform clinging to her, shivering. She threw herself into Ryan's arms, sobbing. Dr. Miller, she buried into his chest. Even his shirt buttons came undone. Ryan didn't speak. He just stared at me. I'd seen that look before. That's how he looked at me every time I caused a scene these past 2 years. Cold, disappointed, annoyed. Lily. His voice was heavy. This is someone's life. If you have a problem, take it out on me, not on someone else. I didn't bother arguing. I reached for the muddy bank, trying to stand. But Chloe suddenly fainted and kicked me hard right on my wounded knee. My hand slipped. I fell back into the lake. Ryan scooped up Chloe and rushed toward the clinic. He never looked back. This fall was worse. The back of my head hit the ice. Everything went black. For a few seconds, I swallowed icy water, choking. Unable to cough, I tried to get up. But my right leg completely gave out. Every move made my vision go dark. Finally, the cleaning lady found me. When she pulled me out with a mop handle, I was too frozen to talk. My lips were purple. My fingers so stiff I couldn't close them. She draped her jacket over me. How'd you fall in? Where's your family? I shook my head. The second I stood up, sharp pain twisted through my lower stomach. Everything went black. I passed out. When I woke up, Ryan was slumped by my bed. I moved my fingers, jerked awake Lily. His voice was wrecked and his eyes turned red. You're awake. I'm sorry. This is all my fault. He reached for my face but stopped. Mid-air. Then just pressed my hand against his cheek. Warm tears dripped onto my hand. I'm sorry. Once you recover, we can. I slowly processed what he was saying. Are you saying? My hand went to my flat stomach. A crushing pain hit my chest. Here without my knowing a child had briefly existed. I clenched my hand tight, nails digging into my palm, trembling. He knelt by the bed, apologizing, rambling about finding the best doctors, surrogates option. I just stared at him like he was a stranger. Why would I need a surrogate? He flinched, eyes flickering. Then quickly explained. The OBGYN said you're too thin. Pregnancy would be really hard on you. I don't want you to suffer. I stared at him. At my last checkup, you said everything was fine, that I was totally healthy for pregnancy. Ryan, what are you hiding? I could guess the truth. Adam's apple bobbed. I'm not. It's just that your current condition isn't good for carrying a baby. I only said that because I didn't want you to be upset. The air in the room went still. He opened his mouth, but no sound came out. Then his phone rang. Chloe. It kept ringing. I saw him actually look relieved. I'll go handle this. I'll be right back. The door closed. I stared at the ceiling until the door opened again. Lily, how are you feeling? It must hurt so bad, right? I closed my eyes. She laughed. Softly. Well, of course it hurts. You had half your uterus removed. My eyes snapped open. What? Half your uterus, Chloe repeated, her voice a sickly sweet melody in the sterile room. She leaned over the bed, her nurse's cap tilted at a jaunty angle. The ice, the trauma, the delayed rescue, you were hemorrhaging so badly that Ryan had to make a choice. Save the organ, or save the wife. He chose your life, but honestly? Looking at you now, I think he just wanted to keep his favorite punching bag around a little longer. I didn't scream. I didn't even cry. The pain in my abdomen was a dull, thrumming roar, but the coldness in my chest was absolute. Get out, I whispered. Oh, I'm going. Ryan's waiting for me in the lounge. We have a lot of paperwork to go over regarding the incident at the lake. She winked and swept out of the room. I waited until the door clicked shut. Then, with trembling hands, I reached for the call button. I didn't call the nurse's station. I called a number I had saved months ago, a high-end medical malpractice attorney who specialized in difficult cases. Mr. Vance, I said, my voice cracking. It's Lily Miller. I'm at St. Jude's. I need a private medical examiner here within the hour. Do not alert the staff. Ryan returned 2 hours later, his face a mask of exhaustion and performative guilt. He carried a bouquet of lilies. The irony was suffocating. Lily, you're awake, he said, rushing to my side. I just spoke to the chief of surgery. We're going to get you the best physical therapy. Did you do it, Ryan? I asked, looking him dead in the eye. Did you perform the surgery? He hesitated. That half-second pause was my answer. I was the lead. It was an emergency, Lily. You were dying. And Chloe? Was she in the room? She's a surgical nurse, Lily. She was assisting. Please, don't start this now. You've lost so much. I lost a child because you chose to carry a lying girl to the clinic instead of looking back at the woman who was drowning, I said, my voice rising. And then, you led her into the operating room where my body was being cut open. Ryan turned pale. I did it to save you. No, I said, pulling a hidden digital recorder from under my pillow, the one my attorney's assistant had dropped off 20 minutes prior. You did it to cover your tracks. But here's the thing, Ryan. I didn't just post that 35-page presentation about your affair. I sent the raw files, the metadata, the GPS logs from your car, and the time-stamped photos Chloe sent me, to the hospital board and the ethics committee 10 minutes ago. Ryan's phone began to vibrate in his pocket. Then his pager. Then the hospital's landline in the room. What did you do? He whispered, his eyes wide with terror. I stopped being silent, I said. Now, get out of my room before I have security remove a doctor who's currently under investigation for gross negligence and ethical violations. The next month was a blur of legal battles and physical recovery. The private examiner I hired discovered something the hospital tried to hide. The emergency surgery had been delayed by 18 minutes because Ryan was arguing with Chloe in the hallway about how to report the accident at the lake. 18 minutes. The difference between a simple procedure and a life-altering mutilation. The 35-page presentation went viral within the medical community. It wasn't just about cheating, it was a clinical breakdown of how an obsessive, narcissistic dynamic between a doctor and a nurse had compromised patient safety, specifically, my safety. Chloe was the first to fall. Without Ryan's protection, her history of mishaps and erratic behavior came to light. She wasn't just a mistress, she was a liability. She was fired within a week, her nursing license suspended pending a criminal investigation into the shove at the lake. Ryan tried to fight. He showed up at my new apartment, a place he didn't have the key to, at 3 a.m., smelling of scotch. Lily, please, he sobbed through the door. 27 years. You're destroying me for a mistake. I loved you. I just got lost. You didn't get lost, Ryan, I spoke through the intercom, my voice steady. You just thought I was a permanent fixture. Like the vase we made. You thought you could chip away at me, crack me, even break me, and I'd still sit on the shelf and hold your flowers. But you forgot that once porcelain is shattered, the pieces are sharp. I'll lose my license. You should, I said. A man who can't tell the difference between a patient's life and a mistress's whim shouldn't hold a scalpel. Goodbye, Ryan. The divorce was finalized on a cold Tuesday in October. I walked away with the apartment, the savings, and a significant settlement from the hospital's insurance. Ryan was forced to resign. His reputation in the city was radioactive. No prestigious hospital would touch a surgeon whose private life involved drowning his wife and botched surgeries. I heard through the grapevine that Chloe tried to sue Ryan for emotional distress after he refused to marry her once he lost everything. They deserved each other, two parasites fighting over a dying host. I spent my first evening of true freedom back at the pottery studio where Ryan and I had made that vase years ago. The instructor, an older woman with kind eyes, watched as I worked the clay. It's hard at first, she said, nodding at my bandaged knee and the way I favored my right side. The clay resists. I don't mind the resistance, I said, my hands covered in gray slip. It means it's taking a new shape. I didn't make a vase this time. I made a bowl, wide, deep, and strong. Something meant to hold substance, not just decoration. As I walked out into the crisp autumn air, my phone buzzed. It was a message from an unknown number. I see you're doing well. I'm sorry for everything. I still love you. I didn't even check to see if it was Ryan. I simply swiped left, deleted the message, and blocked the number. For 27 years, I had been Lily and Ryan. For the last year, I had been the victim. But as I looked at my reflection in a shop window, older, scarred, but standing entirely on my own, I realized I was finally just Lily. And Lily was more than enough. Years later, I found myself in a small garden in a different city. My health had recovered better than the doctors expected. While I could never carry a child, I had adopted a daughter, a fierce, bright-eyed girl named Maya who knew nothing of frozen lakes or broken porcelain. We were planting lilies. Mom, why do we like these flowers? Maya asked, digging in the dirt. They look so fragile. They aren't fragile, Maya, I said, patting the soil. They can survive the winter underground. They wait. They grow. And when they finally bloom, they remind you that the ground can be hard and cold, but it can never stop the spring. In the distance, the city hummed. Somewhere out there, Ryan was likely working a desk job or a clinic in a town that didn't know his name. Somewhere, Chloe was a bitter memory. But here, in the sun, there was no trace of them. I had spent 35 pages telling the world who they were. I spent the rest of my life showing the world who I was. The story didn't end with a broken vase. It ended with a garden. Epilogue, the letter. One day, a letter arrived with no return address. Inside was a single, crumpled black stocking. I didn't flinch. I didn't feel the old sting of betrayal. I walked to the kitchen, turned on the stove, and watched as the cheap fabric curled and vanished into ash. I realized then that the greatest revenge wasn't the presentation, the lawsuit, or the ruined careers. It was the fact that I had forgotten the smell of his cologne. It was the fact that his clues no longer had a mystery to solve. I went back outside to my daughter. Everything okay, Mom? She asked. Perfect, I said. Just taking out the trash.